What's up, football fans? Today we're diving deep into the 2025 Shore Sports Insider All-Shore football teams. And let me tell you, this season was absolutely insane. We're talking record-breaking performances, freshman phenoms, and some of the most talented players to ever step on a Shore Conference field. Whether you're a die-hard high school football fan or just love seeing the next generation of talent, this video is packed with everything you need to know about the best of the best from New Jersey's Shore Conference. We've got dual-threat quarterbacks putting up video game numbers, freshmen making history, and defensive players who are absolute nightmares for opposing offenses. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like if you're hyped for this breakdown, and let's jump right into it. The signal callers. Let's start with the most important position on the field, quarterback. And folks, this year's crop is absolutely loaded. Jack Cannon, Holmdel first up. We've got Jack Cannon from Holmdel, who was named the Shore Sports Insider MVP. This guy didn't just have a great season, he had a historic one. We're talking 2,747 passing yards, 30 touchdown passes, plus another 1,673 yards and 33 touchdowns on the ground. That's 63 total touchdowns, which broke a state record previously held by Ashante Worthy from back in 2017. Let me put that in perspective. Cannon averaged over 368 yards of total offense per game. His team scored 43.1 points per game, the highest in the entire Shore Conference, and he led Holmdel to their first ever state sectional title with that Central Jersey Group 3 championship. Looking at his career numbers, this dude finished with nearly 6,000 passing yards, 60 touchdown passes, over 3,200 rushing yards, and 58 rushing touchdowns. His 118 combined career touchdowns are second all-time among Shore Conference quarterbacks. The cherry on top? He's heading to Dartmouth to continue his career. Ivy League football is getting a special player. Jason Lajara, Brick Memorial. Next, we have Jason Lajara from Brick Memorial, who earned Shore Sports Insider Offensive Player of the Year honors. This guy is the greatest quarterback in Brick Memorial history, and the numbers back it up. Despite missing 2 games due to illness, Lajara threw for 2,131 yards and 27 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions. His team averaged 33.2 points per game, and he had 3 games over 300 yards passing, including a school record 411 yards and 4 touchdowns in a wild 55-41 shootout against Holmdel. Here's what's crazy. He also ran for 720 yards and 14 touchdowns. So in just 11 games, he accounted for over 3,000 total yards and 41 touchdowns. He helped Brick Memorial win their first state sectional title since 2008, and he's now the school's all-time leader in passing yards and touchdown passes. Rivera, Red Bank Catholic. Now here's where things get really interesting. Rivera is a freshman, yes, a freshman, and he just had the greatest statistical season by a freshman quarterback in Shore Conference history. Rivera threw for 2,183 yards and 24 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions for the number 1 ranked team in the Shore. He's the first freshman quarterback to ever make first team All-Shore, and he's already got multiple FBS offers. This kid is going to be a problem for the next 3 years, and college coaches know it. The ground game. Moving on to the running backs, and we've got another freshman making waves. Gabe Kemp, Red Bank Catholic. Gabe Kemp rushed for 1,847 yards, the most by any freshman in Shore Conference history. He scored 17 touchdowns and had over 100 yards rushing in 12 of his team's 13 games. His best performance? A 282-yard explosion against St. John Vianney. Like Rivera, this is another guy who's going to dominate for years to come. Cole Torres, Shore Regional. Cole Torres is on pace to become Shore Regional's all-time leading rusher, and after this junior season, it's easy to see why. He set a school record with 1,651 yards rushing and 18 touchdowns while averaging nearly 8 yards per carry. He's got 2,463 career rushing yards already, and he's got 1 more season to add to that total. Amir Massey, Asbury Park. Talk about explosive. Amir Massey averaged 12.9 yards per carry. He rushed for 1,710 yards and 22 touchdowns in only 9 games. He had 4 games of 250 or more yards, including a 285-yard performance against Ocean. This guy was named Class D North Offensive Player of the Year, and it wasn't even close. Ace Etienne, Manasquan. Ace Etienne's story is all about perseverance. After breaking his leg at the end of last season, he came back to rush for 1,075 yards and 17 touchdowns while battling through injuries. He averaged 7.4 yards per carry and was named Class C North Offensive Player of the Year. His best game? A 268-yard, 5-touchdown performance against Shore Regional. That's warrior mentality right there. The pass catchers. Now let's talk about the guys catching these passes. Nizier Matthews, Brick Memorial. Nizier Matthews is the greatest wide receiver in Brick Memorial history. He broke records previously held by Garrett Graham, who went on to play in the Big Ten at Wisconsin and eventually the NFL with the Houston Texans. Matthews finished with 50 catches for 886 yards and a school record 13 touchdowns. His best games, 10 catches for 157 yards and a touchdown against Holmdel, and 9 catches for 169 yards and 3 touchdowns against Toms River North. He's also a playmaker on defense with 44 tackles and 3 interceptions. Career-wise, he's Brick Memorial's all-time leader with over 2,000 receiving yards. James Murphy, Holmdel. James Murphy went from role player to superstar as a senior, setting a school record with 918 yards receiving, second in the entire Shore Conference. He caught 41 passes and 12 touchdowns, including a 201-yard performance against Marlboro. He also had 64 tackles and an interception on defense. Kason Williams, Matawan. Here's a name to remember, Kason Williams. This 6'5" sophomore caught 37 passes for 742 yards and 10 touchdowns, averaging 20 yards per catch. He's already attracting FBS interest, and with his size and production, you can see why. His team jumped from 2-7 to 6-5, largely because of their talented sophomore class. Jake Schultzel, Freehold Township. Jake Schultzel led the entire Shore Conference with 1,090 receiving yards on 59 catches and 14 touchdowns. He had 6 100-yard games in Freehold Township's air raid offense. He's got FCS interest and will be a senior next season, so expect even bigger numbers. Jack Guymacy, Rumson Fairhaven. The Colgate commit battled through injury to finish with 22 catches for 248 yards and 3 touchdowns. What makes him special is his all-around game. He's an excellent blocker in the run game and finished his career with solid numbers despite missing time. The big guys up front. Let's show some love to the guys in the trenches who make all of this possible. Kai Pritchard, Donovan Catholic. Kai Pritchard is the #1 recruit in the Shore Conference class of 2026 and is committed to Illinois. This two-way star dominated on both sides of the ball with 85 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks on defense while opening holes on offense for a team that won a share of the Class A South title. Jordan Key. Red Bank Catholic Jordan Key was a force on both lines for the top-ranked Caseys, helping them average 31.7 points per game while also putting up 58 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks on defense. This FCS prospect is a two-way engine room player. Jack Tiller, Holmdel. Jack Tiller was a key piece of that record-setting Holmdel offense that averaged 433.3 yards and 43.1 points per game. He helped pave the way for Jack Cannon's historic season and that first-ever sectional title. Jackson Ellis, Brick Memorial. Ellis anchored an offensive line that helped Brick Memorial average 379.6 yards per game, supporting both a 1,000-yard rusher and a 2,300-yard passer on their way to a Central Jersey Group 4 championship. Aiden Lane, Rumson Fairhaven. The 6'3", 260-pound junior has drawn interest from Ivy League, Patriot League, and CAA schools. He helped Rumson average nearly 26 points per game against a brutal schedule. Nazir Whitaker, Brick Memorial. Talk about a Swiss Army knife. Nazir Whitaker rushed for 1,049 yards and 9 touchdowns, caught 38 passes for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns, and returned an 88-yard kickoff for a touchdown in the Central Jersey Group 4 final. This guy does it all and has interest from Army and multiple FCS programs. Anthony Serini, Holmdel sophomore. Anthony Serini was a breakout star with a team-high 44 catches for 783 yards and 9 touchdowns. He also ran for 139 yards and a touchdown and played outstanding defense with 63 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, and an interception. Simon Piccinich, Red Bank Catholic. Yet another dominant freshman, sensing a pattern here. Simon Piconich led the Shore Conference with 10 field goals, including a long of 41 yards, and went 42 for 43 on extra points. This kid has one of the strongest legs in the state and attempted field goals from as far as 59 yards. The state record is 58 yards, and he's got 3 more years to break it. Now let's flip to defense and talk about the guys causing chaos in the backfield. Justin Davis, Wall. Justin Davis was an absolute monster with 96 tackles, a Shore Conference leading 15 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. He also played tight end on offense with 17 catches for 299 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was named Class B North Player of the Year and is headed to Colgate. Lorenzo Tartamella, Red Bank Catholic. This junior earned all Shore honors for the second straight year with 65 tackles, 6 sacks, and 15 tackles for loss. He's got offers from Kent State, Southern Miss, and San Diego State, and he's only going to get better. Cohen Johnson. Neptune Johnson was a game wrecker with 72 tackles, 11 sacks, and a Shore Conference leading 32 tackles for loss. He was named Class D North Defensive Player of the Year after helping Neptune win their first division title since 1998. Ben Gradell, Rumson Fairhaven. The junior interior lineman posted 63 tackles, 14 for loss, 4 sacks, and a blocked kick. He's got offers from Penn and Southern Miss and was a second-team All-Shore pick as a sophomore. Finn Boland, Toms River North. Here's another freshman phenom. Finn Boland registered 118 tackles, 11.5 sacks, and 23 tackles for loss in his rookie season. He showed up in big games with 9 tackles and a sack against number 1 ranked RBC and double-digit tackle performances against multiple top 10 opponents. Trey Talmadge, Brick Memorial. Trey Talmadge was named Shore Sports Insider Defensive Player of the Year, and it's easy to see why. He battled through early season injuries to post 66 tackles and 10 tackles for loss. His best performances came in the biggest games. 12 tackles with 4 for loss in the sectional final shutout against Middletown North, and 13 tackles with 4 for loss against top-ranked Winslow Township. He's committed to Sacred Heart. Dylan Cohen, Wall. Cohen was a true two-way star with 94 tackles, 7.5 sacks, and 8 tackles for loss on defense while rushing for 1,119 yards and 15 touchdowns on offense. He was named Class B North Defensive Player of the Year. Nico Iliescu, Southern. The sophomore standout posted 51 tackles, 4 sacks, and 9 tackles for loss for a defense that allowed the fewest points in the entire Shore Conference, just 92 all season. He also rushed for 382 yards and 7 touchdowns on offense. Jack Baker, Toms River North. A 2-time first-team All-Shore selection, Baker finished with 106 tackles and 18 tackles for loss. He's got FCS and FBS interest and enters his senior year with 212 career tackles. Jamir Lane Bailey, Red Bank Lane Bailey, was a long, athletic edge rusher who opposing coaches game-planned around. He posted 91 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. He also caught 12 passes for 195 yards and 4 touchdowns on offense. Dan Zabora, Red Bank Catholic Zabora, was a ball magnet with 4 interceptions and 74 tackles for the top-ranked team. On offense, he caught 41 passes for 735 yards and 10 touchdowns. He was named Class A North Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Tedisco, Holmdel. Tedisco was everywhere for that first sectional championship team. 78 tackles, 5 interceptions, and a fumble return for a touchdown on defense. On offense, he had 35 catches for 530 yards and 4 touchdowns, plus 197 rushing yards and 2 scores. Colin Johnson. Donovan Catholic Johnson posted 57 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, and 7 pass breakups from his defensive back position for one of the Shore's top defenses. Jason Berexky, Red Bank Catholic. Another outstanding sophomore, Berexky had 42 catches for 557 yards and 5 touchdowns on offense. Defensively, he posted 42 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 2 pick-sixes for a unit that allowed just 11.8 points per game. He's got offers from Duke, Wofford, and West Virginia. Heath Reinhardt, Wall. A two-time first-team All-Shore selection, Reinhardt was the leading receiver with 51 catches for 549 yards, made 33 tackles in the secondary, and handled all kicking and punting duties. Talk about valuable. Cole Garrison, Tom's River North Garrison, was one of the few returning starters from the 2024 Group 5 championship team and delivered with 693 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns, 16 catches, 67 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 3 fumble recoveries. Seamus Montague, Middletown North Montague, was a special teams weapon, averaging 40 yards per punt with 4 downed inside the 20. He also hit a school record 8 field goals with a long of 41 yards. What a season for Shore Conference football! We saw record-breaking performances, freshman Phenoms taking the league by storm, and some of the most talented players in Shore Conference history, putting on a show week after week. From Jack Cannon's historic 63-touchdown season to Gabe Kemp and Rivera rewriting the freshman record books, from Justin Davis dominating both sides of the ball to Trey Talmadge anchoring a championship defense, this 2025 season will be remembered for years to come. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more high school football content. Drop a comment below and let me know, who was your player of the year? Which performance impressed you the most? I want to hear from you. Thanks for watching.